Hi, my name is Peterkin Ofori. I'm a lawyer, mental health practitioner, and a relationship expert. I want to talk about a video that went around last week about a man that is trying to explain why women get abused in their home. And this is what he said.
Most physical abuse from men is a response from emotional abuse from women.
Okay.
Take it or you leave it.
Now, first, I want to express how dangerous this is. That statement is very, very dangerous against the fight to stop domestic violence. Right? Secondly, I want to state that that man, I don't know him. I don't know what he does for a living. I don't know what brought him into that panel discussion. But what I can say for a fact is that he doesn't have a clue about the topic that he was discussing. He has no idea about that topic. Right? He has no intellectual understanding of how abuse happen. And I'll try and explain how abuse happen and how people get themselves into the phase where they get beaten at home and how they demand that sometimes they go overboard in order to get abuse. It is a psychological process that happens, and that is how people get abused and they remain in the abusive relationship. Right? I am talking from an experience position, from practical experience position. Right? Apart from the book that I have read, I have also had 12 years experience in dealing with women who have suffered domestic violence. And I continue to do so. In the last year alone, I have spoken to over 100 women who have suffered violence, serious violence, in their homes during the lockdown in the UK. And it's a very, very serious problem that should not be undermined by uneducated individual. I was very surprised that this video went viral. Personally, it got sent to me about 40 times. And I was equally very surprised that a lot of people seemed to agree with what this man was saying. And what was also equally very surprising, that I'm on a platform, at least 4 relationship platforms, and other platforms that this video was shared, that have eminent women that could speak out. Even on the platform, I did not read any condemnation at all against what this man was saying. And there seemed to be the general acceptance that what this man is saying is true. And I found that very worrying. Right? I've just said I have been doing this job for about 12 years and continue to do so. In that process, I have worked in prison where I have spoken to murderers of women, people that have killed their wives or girlfriends, and try to understand why they did it. There are some in prison today who are still angry that their wife died. They are still angry for they dying, not because they hit them, but for the fact that they died. Of all the people that I spoke to, none of them take responsibility for their action. And this man seemed to be feeding into the narrative that to be abused in the home, it is your fault. That women who get abused in their homes are to be blamed. And that narrative is also very consistent with every victim of domestic abuse. Every victim that I have spoken to who has suffered violence in their home seem to accept the fact that they are to be blamed. You see, for you to understand how wrong this man was, I think it's important that you understand who a domestic abuser is and how they prepare their victims like praise to be abused in future. That is key. That key understanding will guide you to acknowledge how wrong this guy was. You see, any person who abuses the other, or any man for that matter who abuses a woman, have got a split personality. One charming side and one, what that man called the beast in him. And that personality is very unstable. So he's got a very unstable emotional personality. And he lacks emotional intelligence. So he's not able to take confrontation. And also, they are not able to express themselves in a way that is assertive enough, and they cover that up with violence. Okay, that is all. They try to cover their lapses up with violence. So when they meet a woman, what that woman is going to see in the first instances is the charming side of their personality. So they will treat the woman so beautifully. They will make them feel like they are the best thing that they've ever met. They will make them feel so important in themselves. While that is happening, what they are doing slowly is taking over the woman's life. They will be chipping their confidence while compensating them with nice things, love and affection. They will be stopping them from doing things that they like while compensating them with things that will make the woman happy. They work the woman up very quickly and they know what they like and what they don't like. And they will do what they like for them. Some of the things they like while chipping their confidence. So what you're going to find is, for instance, if you like talking to your friend at 6 o'clock when you come from work, they will tell you, oh, when you come, I want to spend time with you, so don't do it. So you realize that you stop talking to your friend. What he has done is that he's taken away your support. They prepare them. They prepare them like prey and chip away their confidence. Then along the line, when the woman had come to trust them and has given them their life basically, because this man has made them believe that they are there to protect them and they are always there for them. So they lose everything for them. That is when they begin to strike. That is where the abuse will start. So the abuse doesn't start from the onset of the relationship. Though if you open your eye, you can see traits of the abuse being formed. If you don't know, you don't know. So when the abuse starts, it's going to start very slowly. So if this man has never shouted at you, what we are going to get is him shouting the first time because you had done something wrong. And don't forget, by the time you get to that stage, he had given you a list of things that he doesn't like. He doesn't like you to do. And most of the time, it's a list of things that you like to do. So you are likely to do them. And you go and do one of them and he will get upset and he will shout at you. That may be the first time he will shout. But what he is going to do is that he will come and apologize. So you're going to see that beautiful side of him again. That, oh, I am so sorry. I don't know why I did this. I'll never do this again. They will give you the apology. They will give you love, affection, attention, the things that you've been used to up to that point. But then they will throw in a caveat. If you didn't do this again, I wouldn't have been this angry. And try and reason with you not to do it again. They are still preparing you. The next time, it will not be a shout, it may be a push. And the same reassurance, love, and affection will follow. The next time, it will go on to be a punch, a slap in the finger, on the hand. And this will be intermittent. And each time you do the nice things, you get abused, he comes and do all the nice things that you know. What he is going to do is that even when he is not abusing you, you are not going to get the nice things. He will stop doing all the nice things. So the vacuum will be created. So the nice thing that he used to do when you met is going to stop. But whenever he goes to do something wrong, that is part of the abusive process, that you think is abusive, like he has punched you, you are going to get that beauty, that nice thing that he used to do. So a lot of love, a lot of affection, a lot of apologies. Some of them will go to give you a gift, and they will be nice for a period, whilst reassuring that it's not going to happen. At the same time, telling you that because of the thing that you did, that is why they did that. So one thing you see that is consistent is that they fail to take responsibility for the action, and they keep blaming it on the victim. That if you had not done this, I will not have done that. Now they've created a vacuum where the only time that they will be nice to you is when they abuse you. Right? So when they hit you, you get the beautiful side of them. If they don't hit you, you never get that nice side of them. So a woman become accustomed to that process, and their life become dysfunctional at that point. So the expectation of that woman is that whenever they get hit, they are going to get their husband or their man that had been so nice to them previously back, and they will get that nice treatment. And that relationship, abusers relationship, will be formed and established. So that will continue. So it becomes a reward system. The woman get abused, he get a reward from the man who will turn out to be the nice person. And that relationship is established. That will go on for a time, to such a time that the vacuum will still be there, but the abuse from the man kind of stops because he's lost interest. So the woman now wants the nice things to be said. So they now begin to seek the abuse from the man, so they can get the nice things that has been the reward, basically. So they seek the abuse in order to get their reward. Don't forget, at that time, the victim's confidence is non-existent, it's gone. So that becomes a pattern. And then what do you get? A time will come where the victim will go and seek the abuse. And they get abused, all right, but the man doesn't even reward them anymore. So they become a lot more irritable and agitated. And then so they need to do more in order to get abused, with a view that they will get their reward. which does not come. And a lot of the time, that's the first time that you are likely to hear that somebody is being abused, right? That is a psychological process. So I found it extremely dangerous that this man actually opened his mouth and talked about it being as normal, the latter stage of the process where the man has stopped rewarding the woman and the women are demanding the abuse in order to get a reward, which is not coming, and they become frustrated. Then he is saying that it is the woman's fault to be blamed. Whereas the woman, all throughout the time they get to that stage, had accepted the blame because they do things that the man don't like and they get abused. And they will accept the blame that they did it. This is a very short and simplistic way of describing the abuse cycle. All I want to say is whatever that man said was grossly untrue. That man don't have a clue about the topic that he was discussing. He didn't have any knowledge. He had no intellectual background. And please, if you did believe him, and I think a lot of people did believe what he said, please, it's a very dangerous precedent for the man to say that, right? It goes against the core of the fight against domestic violence. So please don't believe him. And if you're a good person out there, please share this and let others believe that or understand that that man was completely wrong. But I want this knowledge to go out so people will understand and will not take what that man said, because it's a very dangerous thing that he said, and it goes against everything that we are trying to fight for. Thank you.